Why leaving your comfort zone actually stops you from growing. Introduction: The lie of the leap. We've all heard the advice: growth happens outside your comfort zone. It's a rallying cry for hustle culture, implying that success requires stress, struggle, and a constant, uncomfortable leap into the unknown. But what if that simple phrase is the single greatest lie blocking your progress? In the previous discussion on abundance, we introduced the concept of coherent flow, a state of effortless high-performance action. If struggle is the prerequisite for growth, then flow, by its very definition, shouldn't exist. Yet, peak performers from Olympic athletes to top CEOs describe their greatest achievements as feeling easy, natural, and even inevitable. The problem with the leaving your comfort zone mindset is that it sets up an internal dynamic of resistance and fear. When you view a challenge as a difficult escape from comfort, your body responds by activating the fight or flight system. This is the neurochemical state of the first video's single lie, and it fundamentally blocks the clarity and ease required for true growth. The goal isn't to leave the comfortable. The goal is to expand your comfort zone until high performance becomes your most natural state. The resistance trap: fighting versus integrating. The conventional model of growth looks like this: comfort zone, safe, low challenge, low skill. Fear, growth zone, high challenge, high stress, high fear. The leap, new comfort zone, a temporary landing spot. This model is inherently stressful because the fear zone activates the amygdala, flooding your system with cortisol. Cortisol doesn't facilitate learning, it facilitates survival. When you are purely surviving, your brain is inefficient, rigid, and prone to mistakes. The coherent flow model flips this script. It recognizes that stress is not the catalyst for growth, but the impediment to integration. When you fight failure, the lie, you create friction, and your learning slows down. You resist the lesson, guaranteeing repeated mistakes. When you allow expansion, the flow, you encounter the edge of your ability with curiosity, not anxiety. The new skill is smoothly integrated because your nervous system remains calm and receptive. The coherent flow, expanding the border. How do you expand the zone instead of abandoning it? By operating in what psychologists call the challenge skill balance. True growth happens in the sweet spot where the challenge is slightly greater than your current skill level, just enough to demand attention, but not so much that it triggers panic. This is not the fear zone, it's the learning edge. To cultivate this expansion, you need 3 key ingredients: the foundation of safety, internal calibration. Before tackling any new challenge, you must ensure your internal state is one of fundamental safety. This isn't about physical safety, but psychological safety. Ask yourself, can I afford to fail here? If the answer is no, e.g., this presentation determines my entire career or I must get this perfect, you will enter the fear zone. If the answer is yes, e.g., this is a practice run, I will learn from any mistakes, you maintain coherence. True masters make mistakes, but they don't let those mistakes compromise their internal safety. Micro-expansion, the 1% rule. Instead of the terrifying leap, focus on the micro-expansion. Think of your comfort zone as a muscle. You don't bench press your maximum weight on day 1. You add 1% more weight than last time. In any endeavor, isolate the very next single-digit challenge. If you fear public speaking, don't sign up for a TED Talk. Sign up to speak for 1 extra minute in a small internal meeting. If you fear financial risk, don't invest everything. Commit to researching 1 new investment strategy for 30 minutes a day. These small, coherent steps introduce novelty without triggering panic, allowing the edge of your comfort zone to subtly move outward, like ripples in a pond. The feedback loop of curiosity. When you make a mistake outside the comfort zone, the ego tends to shut down. I am a failure. This creates resistance. When you make a mistake at the learning edge, you engage the feedback loop of curiosity. Interesting. Why did that happen? This shift in perspective is everything. It reframes the mistake not as an ending, failure, but as crucial data that informs the next adjustment. This curious, non-judgmental analysis keeps you in flow, constantly updating your skill set without ever needing to experience true emotional stress. Growth is not a fight. The greatest achievements in human history, the most beautiful art, the most complex scientific breakthroughs were born from states of deep focus and surrender, not constant anxiety. The single lie is the belief that struggle is necessary. The truth, the coherent flow, is that ease is the fastest path to mastery. Stop fighting failure in a
D. Stop forcing yourself out of your comfort. Instead, cultivate the internal safety, commit to the 1% expansion, and embrace curiosity. When you stop resisting, the zone doesn't just get bigger. It becomes infinitely flexible, making high performance your comfortable, natural state.